Coming up, we're going to have another meet and greet, but this time it's with Coach Bellinger, who is the men's basketball coach.
The house has been vacant for about a year, and it's believed that some vagrants were here earlier this morning when the fire broke out.
Just looking at tons of debris piled alongside roads here in Mitchell County, it's obvious that the tornado cleanup and recovery efforts are well underway, and that reimbursement check received today came right on time. District Attorney's Office is serving search warrants in 4 different locations throughout Dougherty County, including out here at Mealdale Meadows, which is home to a lot of Arabian horses. And the DA also says that it belongs to a key figure in this racketeering bust.
At around 3:30 this morning, a hotel guest called down to the desk complaining about folks arguing. And so the hotel clerk called the Homewood Police Department. Again, a $5 ladder saved one man's life who climbed down this little chain ladder to safety.
So we crossed the Chattahoochee River into the state of Alabama and came here to Eufaula to see if the locals are catching the big game lotto fever. We're here just southbound of Mount Olive Road here at I-65. That collision involves 4 vehicles, and it is a fatal collision. As you can see behind me, the vehicles are still out here. Now, this is what witnesses tell me, that the gray car was northbound on I-65, somehow crossed the median and ended up going head-on into southbound traffic. Let's show you some of the video from just moments ago. Okay, well, as you can see, the 4 cars that are out here, the driver of the gray car, we are told, has died in this accident. The truck you see right in front of the gray car, that person has also been life flighted to a local hospital. And we talked with 2 of the drivers. They said all of a sudden they noticed the car just quickly come across the median. They didn't know what happened, and then moments later it's all the mess that you see here now. And we talked with one of the Highway Patrol. Traffic is going to be backed up here for about an hour, so they just opened up this lane about 15 minutes ago, but it's still a very slow go here on I-65 southbound, just south of Mount Olive Road. We'll get back to you with more information. Janice?
And he said, okay, Mom, I'm gonna come.
Those were the last words of Angie Williams' 8-year-old son, Kenneth Eford. She called him man. He was one of 2 boys who drowned in a fish pond last night.
I kept hearing some children hollering and screaming, and then that was my little girl and her little girl, and then they say, man, them don't drown.
The other child was Brandon Johnson.
Today is, it's Brandon Johnson's birthday.
His family was prepared for his 9th birthday today. Instead of celebrating his birth, they are now mourning his death.
It just hurts real bad, and the kids were so young. They were so young.
Both families want to know why the private property where the boys drowned was not completely fenced. So they retraced the mile-plus path to the pond, and along the way, they say, they also didn't see any warning signs or no trespassing signs. The family says this is the place where the boys and their 2 sisters ended up. According to the family, here's what led up to the boys' death. They said that they were out here chasing ducks into the pond. Today they found Eford's tennis shoes on one side of the pond and his baseball jersey that was on a log on the other side. And Johnson's sandals were near the boat the boys allegedly fell out of.
But you know, you leaving a space open for a child is like to wander, and they just wandered off over there.
One family has hung a purple ribbon of mourning on their home to remember the lives of 2 young boys whose adventure ended in death. In Early County, Michael Douglas, Fox 31 News. Someone broke into the House of Prayer for All Nations in Ashburn twice last week.
And I told the police officer, I said, well, whether you find him or not, God knows who he is. And God will judge that sin.
He was picked up in Lee County later on, and we were called by the Worth County Sheriff Department, notified of that.
27-year-old Jason Simrow of Sumner is jailed in Turner County on forgery charges. Pastor McKinney says he's the same man who showed up at the church on Monday and Wednesday last week to do some unsolicited pesticide work for a company the church hadn't used in 6 months.
It was always in the back of my mind that it just seemed odd that he would come by and then we get broken into.
After the second break-in, the pastor noticed that the church's checkbook was out of place. Moments later, he got a call from the Piggly Wiggly grocery store about a check written from the church.
Whenever they run the video, it was just automatic. I mean, it was just, yeah, that's him. That's the guy that was at our church.
After the second burglary at the church, police say Simrod then hit the main drag here in Ashburn. They accuse him of passing off several checks at businesses along Washington Avenue. Police say they found more church checks when they arrested Simrod.
I think we have a total now in the neighborhood of about 15 to 20 checks.
The church says 29 checks were stolen. Police say forgeries happened at gas stations, restaurants, and even at the Ramada Inn.
The sad thing about it is, if that young man would have come to this church and said, "I need something," we would have helped him.
In Ashburn, Michael Douglas, Fox 31 News.
Because the Lord is my shepherd, I have everything I need.
She has the voice of an angel.
He lets me rest in a meadow's grass, yeah, 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 yeah. And then he leads me beside the quiet stream.
And the look, from head to toe, she exudes the qualities of a bona fide diva.
You might just be real from the beginning.
She is Vickie Winans.
Real and down to earth is a good 50-60% of my entire career. People love it when they can touch you and reach you and feel like they just came to your house, you know. And that's the way I want to be.
Look at somebody and say, we might as well have touched this evening. Say yeah, say yeah, woo, yeah.
Vickie is a gospel singer at heart. Her ministry is totally dedicated to her faith. On stage, she not only sings worshipers happy, but also gives them hearty laughter about her life experience in living for God.
I got a weave appointment on Thursday. I'm gonna get it sewn back in for Jesus, so I can praise him like he's worthy. How many know I know? Don't look at me like weave ain't good. Weave is good.
With a compact in one hand and a cell phone in the other, Vickie Winans exemplifies what it means to be a diva.
I used to try to hide my little stuff when my blessings started coming in.
But she's just living well, singing about her one true love.
Wow. Feel like dancing, giving God glory. Hallelujah.
Michael Douglas, Fox 31 Action News.
I hear the music, yeah, 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 yeah. Come on, y'all. I hear the music.